Policy is one driver of innovation, and smart policy can encourage scientists and engineers to integrate gender analysis into basic and applied research. Interlocking policies need to address policy for the entire research pipeline. On the Gendered Innovations website, we have treated the following areas: funding agencies, peer-reviewed journals, and education. Here we will discuss editorial boards of peer-reviewed journals. Peer-reviewed journals can require sophisticated sex and gender analysis when selecting papers for publication. This is important for the final stage of the research process. Only excellent research should be published, and excellent research takes into account sex and gender where relevant. You can see examples of discoveries made by employing sex and gender analysis in our case studies. Importantly, journal editors and reviewers can hold the line on the proper use of the terms sex and gender. These terms are commonly used interchangeably, which is incorrect. Sex should be used when referring to biology, and gender should be used when referring to social, cultural, or environmental factors. Using sex and gender correctly can enable meta-analysis. On the GI website, we list journals and their policies on sex inclusion. Please let me know if I've missed journals with excellent policies in this area. You can see that in 2012, all the journals of the American Physiological Society implemented a policy requiring the reporting of sex of cells, tissues, experimental animals, and humans, and the reporting of gender where appropriate. I recommend that you click on and read Virginia Miller's excellent editorial entitled "In Pursuit of Scientific Excellence, Sex Matters." Both science and nature have rudimentary guidelines that the sex of the animals be reported. I recommend that these guidelines be elaborated and strengthened in light of the new NIH and European Commission requirements. Finally, I call your attention to the very best journal editorial policies to date that I am aware of from clinical, orthopedic, and related research. I encourage you to read their editorial announcing their policies from January 2014. 1. Design studies that are sufficiently powered to answer research questions both for males and females, or men and women, if the health condition being studied occurs in both. 2. Provide sex and or gender-specific data where relevant in all clinical, basic science, and epidemiological studies. 3. Analyze the influence or association of sex or gender in the results of the study, or indicate in the patient and methods section why such analyses were not performed, and consider this topic as a limitation to cover in the discussion section. 4. Indicate if sex or gender analyses were performed post hoc that these analyses should be interpreted cautiously because they may be underpowered, leading to a false conclusion of no difference. It is important that editors of peer-reviewed journals require attention to sex and gender as fundamental variables in the review process. Gendered Innovations harness the creative power of sex and gender analysis for discovery.